I see you standing at the edge of another difficult morning, carrying more questions than answers beneath your tired eyes. And I recognize the quiet way you hide behind practice smiles and half-finished conversations. The city wakes around us anyway, pulling open its shutters to meet the day. You tell yourself you're running out of time, measuring your worth against clocks that never learned your name. But I've learned that strength often arrives unnoticed in the simple act of getting up once more. So listen to the sound beneath your doubt, the steady rhythm that survived every storm. You are not made of fragile things alone. There is still a spark refusing to disappear. This youth fire keeps burning through sleepless nights and uncertain roads, illuminating places fear could never fully reach. And I carry it proudly for both of us until you remember it has always belonged to you. When the skyline feels too heavy, when the silence feels too long, we lift our eyes and move toward horizons, still learning our names. I've watched you gather broken confidence from crowded stations and empty bedrooms, piecing together hope from moments no one else thought worth remembering. A handwritten note inside your pocket, a message from a friend arriving at the right hour. You thought courage had to look dramatic, like fireworks painted across the sky for everyone to witness. But sometimes it looks like showing up again, even when your hands are still shaking. The roads ahead remain unfinished, and that is never meant they lead nowhere. If you lose sight of your reflection in the noise, borrow my belief until you find your own. You were never asked to carry everything perfectly, only to keep your heart open to another sunrise. The world may not slow down for your healing, but neither can it extinguish your light. This youth fire keeps rising through every setback and every quiet victory, turning hesitation into movement, one breath at a time. And I'll walk beside you through the changing seasons with a hope that grows stronger for having been tested. The dreams left unfinished, the promises made to ourselves, the resilience hidden inside ordinary days continue to shape who we become. The night will not last forever, the road will keep unfolding, and somewhere beyond today's unanswered questions and tomorrow's unfamiliar skies, our hearts are already leaning toward the light we have yet to meet. Friend, we set out before sunrise with more questions than plans, tucked inside our worn-out bags, while the highway stretched ahead of us like an unfinished sentence waiting to discover its own ending. The city lights faded slowly in the rearview mirror, and the first golden morning touched the edges of the road. You rolled the window down without hesitation, letting cold air and unfamiliar songs rush through parked the car. You pointed toward distant mountains, as if certainty had never been a requirement for wonder. The map folded awkwardly between our hands, its creases unable to predict every turn. Still we kept moving forward, trusting the horizon more than our fear. On this endless road, I carry your laughter through landscapes painted in shifting light and passing weather. An adventure becomes the courage to keep loving the unknown. Even when it doesn't answer back, the miles keep unfolding. The sky keeps widening and our hearts keep finding reasons to stay open to what comes next. Friend, there were roadside diners with chipped coffee cups and sleepy waitresses calling everyone, hun. And quiet gas stations glowing beneath midnight skies in towns we never learned to name. We missed exits and took wrong turns, discovering hidden coastlines and forgotten fields by accident. You taught me to notice the details along the way, the dog sleeping beside a fruit stand, the old couple sharing silence on a bench. Some moments lasted only seconds, yet stayed with me longer than destinations ever could. The road carried us through rain and sunlight alike, never asking us to choose only one. Maybe growing up isn't arriving somewhere perfect. Maybe it's learning how to travel with tenderness still intact, sharing the last snack in the glove compartment, staying awake for difficult conversations beneath unfamiliar stars. The future remains unwritten, and somehow that feels less frightening now. On this endless road, I carry the weight and lightness of who we've been beneath skies too vast to fully understand. Emotion settles beside wonder without asking either one to step aside. The misturns, the borrowed dreams, the quiet promises made between stretches of open highway continue to guide us. The headlights reach farther into the gathering evening. The horizon still keeps some of its secrets, and I drive beside you a little longer, curious about the stories waiting just beyond the next curve in the road. I picked up a cherry soda today because I knew you would laugh at the bright little label before opening it. I saved the second bottle for you, even though you were running late like you always do. I watched the tiny bubbles race to the top, and somehow they reminded me of your endless ideas. I knew the afternoon would turn into another story the moment you finally showed up. I never know what we're gonna do next. Somehow you always make that the best part. You take one sip, I start laughing, and suddenly the whole day feels lighter. We talk about things that don't really matter, and somehow they become my favorite conversations. The cherry soda goes flat before we finish it, but the smile stays around a little longer. So let's keep walking until the sky decides it's time to change its color. I point at a funny shaped cloud, and you somehow see a completely different picture than I do. You always make room for one more silly idea, even if afternoons with you so much. Nothing big happens, and that's exactly what makes them easy to remember. A cool breeze, 2 bottles, a long conversation, and enough daylight to keep wandering. You take 1 sip, I start laughing, and it feels like the afternoon keeps stretching a little farther. We leave behind empty bottles and carry home another handful of easy memories. I don't really mind where we end up as long as you're still walking beside me. Maybe tomorrow will taste just as bright. Awake before the rooftops have gathered enough light to remember their colors, and the quiet morning gently learns my name again. I carry yesterday like a folded letter, not to read once more, but simply to know it has become lighter in my hands. The cool air slips through the open window, placing a calm breath beside my own without asking for anything in return. I stand still long enough to hear the first bird stitching delicate threads across the pale sky. I do not rush the morning, I let the morning arrive inside me instead. I walk through this lonely morning like a small river finding its patient way between silent stones. I gather quiet pieces of light one by one until the shadows begin to soften around my steps. Nothing asks me to become someone else before the day begins. I simply follow the gentle brightness that keeps unfolding ahead of me. The empty street holds a silver glow, as though the dawn has quietly polished every corner during the night. A single tree lifts its branches toward the widening sky, never wondering whether the sun will return. I notice how even the smallest breeze carries invisible seeds toward places it has never seen. I keep one of those unseen journeys close to my heart, trusting it without needing its destination. Some mornings speak in silence rather than color. Some hopes arrive without footsteps, resting softly beside the ordinary. I've learned that quiet beginnings often carry the longest echoes. I walk through this lonely morning with the light resting gently upon my shoulders. Instead of asking me to carry it, I leave behind only soft footprints while the day slowly opens like a field after gentle rain. The horizon grows clearer with every calm breath I choose to take, and somewhere beyond the first warm light, another quiet morning is already waiting. The friend follows the quiet highway where the night falls gently around distant hills, and the headlights gather silver threads across the empty road. The stars remain above like patient lanterns, never asking where the journey began or where it might end. The passing trees become soft brush strokes against the dark, drifting by like memories that no longer need to explain themselves. The wind slips through the open window, carrying a silence wide enough for unspoken thoughts to rest. The road keeps unfolding without hurry. The night keeps listening without a reply. The friend drives through the dreaming night, where every mile becomes another quiet page beneath the moon. The lonely road reflects the fading lights as though it is holding small constellations close to the earth. The distance stretches softly beyond the next curve, never asking to be understood. The journey continues with nothing but the gentle rhythm of wheels and sky. A quiet lake catches the moonlight for a brief moment before the road carries it away again. The hills drift into blue shadows, where even the trees seem to breathe in slower patterns. The dashboard glow rests lightly upon steady hands, like a small candle guiding its own reflection. The friend watches another empty town fade into the mirror, leaving only the calm of the open road behind. Some nights are too wide for conversation. Some roads are kind enough to carry silence instead. The sky leans closer with every passing mile, as though it understands the language of quiet journeys. The friend keeps driving through the dreaming night, where the horizon slowly dissolves into another shade of blue. The lonely road gathers every distant light without asking any of them to remain. The stars continue their quiet watch above the moving world below. And somewhere beyond the next gentle bend, another stretch of night is waiting. You still cross my mind when the city slows down after the evening rush, and the streets finally have room to breathe. You are no longer part of my everyday life, but some places still remember the way we used to walk through them. I don't avoid those corners anymore, because they belong to the city as much as they belong to us. Time has changed the view, but it hasn't asked me to forget. We didn't lose every good thing, we just couldn't carry all of it together. You gave me days that still feel warm when I remember them. You also gave me a goodbye that taught me how to keep moving without closing my heart. I hope the city has been kind to you in the quiet moments when no one else is around. I hope you're finding your own way, just as I'm learning mine. Probably past new cafes now, and maybe you found streets we never had the chance to see. I can't hear without thinking of you, but they no longer stop me where I stand. Some memories become gentle simply because enough seasons have passed. If we met again, I don't think we would need to explain everything. Some stories don't need another ending to prove they were real. Sometimes the kindest thing we can do is be thankful for what we shared and let the rest stay where it belongs. You gave me days that help shape the person I am now, and I carry them with quiet gratitude. The city keeps changing and so do we, one ordinary day at a time. I don't know where your road leads from here, but I hope it feels like home. And if our paths ever cross again, the evening will know what to do with the silence. He watches the shadow taxi drift beneath quiet streetlights, as though it remembers roads that maps quietly forgot. He tells himself that every passing window carries a borrowed moon for only a single breath. He lets the city fold around his footsteps like a coat stitched from soft reflections and distant echoes. He wonders whether the night is guiding him or simply walking beside him without a destination. He keeps his questions where the rain cannot wash them away. He keeps his silence like a lantern with its light turned inward. The shadow taxi glides across the sleeping avenues, carrying pieces of the evening that never asked to be named. He watches its fading outline as though it knows the quiet places hidden inside his own heart. Every turning street becomes another page the darkness writes with gentle silver lines. He stays where the headlights disappear, listening for something that has not yet chosen a voice. The river beside the road gathers fragments of the stars, smoothing them into slow and patient circles. He notices how empty benches seem to remember every goodbye without ever speaking aloud. A single breeze lifts forgotten leaves and they travel together like letters never meant to arrive. He tells himself that even unseen journeys leave a careful warmth beneath their fading tracks. Some nights are not searching for answers, They are simply making room for quieter questions. Some roads are not meant to be followed, only watched until their distance becomes familiar. He stands still long enough to feel the city breathing through its quiet walls, as though every hidden corner has its own small constellation. The shadow taxi slips beyond the edge of the waiting streets, carrying its quiet mystery into another unseen hour. He remains beneath the gentle glow of fading lamps, letting the silence settle like light upon still water. The night keeps unfolding without asking him to understand it. And somewhere beyond the last turning, another window softly brightens. Snow kept falling through the narrow alley while the stranger walked slowly beneath dim apartment lights and tangled wires. The breath rising softly into the cold blue air like small clouds refusing to disappear into the night. The city sounded quieter after midnight snowfall. Distant traffic blurred beneath the white silence, covering stairways, rooftops, and forgotten bicycles near the curb. A tiny restaurant still glowed warm at the end of the alley, beside stacks of empty crates and frozen flower pots, while old jazz drifted faintly through the cracked doorway into the sleeping street outside. The stranger paused there for a second, hands hidden deep inside worn coat pockets, carrying more weight than the snow itself. Yet something inside them remained strangely steady, like a hidden rhythm moving quietly beneath the exhaustion of too many unfinished days. Maybe hope survives exactly this way, small, almost invisible beneath heavy weather and long winters. Not loud enough to change the whole world at once, just strong enough to keep someone walking through the cold a little farther. The snow kept glowing silver beneath the street lights, while the alley stretched endlessly through the sleeping city night. And the stranger moved forward slowly, as though the darkness itself had started opening space ahead. Every quiet footstep echoed softly against the frozen pavement, like proof that even tired hearts still carry movement. While somewhere beyond the falling snow, morning waited patiently behind the clouds. An upstairs window flickered briefly while someone watered a dying plant beneath pale kitchen light at 3 a.m. And somewhere nearby, a radio hummed softly through thin apartment walls, wrapped in winter silence. The stranger remembered old versions of themselves from years before. Faster laughter, lighter shoulders, dreams spoken more easily beneath younger skies. But tonight there was no anger left in the cold, only reflection moving gently through the rhythm of snow and distant train sounds. Even the loneliness felt quieter now, less like emptiness and more like space, waiting for something new to arrive slowly. The alley kept narrowing between old brick buildings covered in white frost and dim electric signs. Yet every step forward somehow felt wider than the fear still lingering behind them. If strength has a shape, perhaps it resembles someone continuing home through heavy snowfall without losing their pace, or warm lights surviving quietly inside tiny windows while the whole city freezes outside. Not certainty, not triumph, just the calm refusal to stop moving through the night. Now the snow drifted thicker beneath the fading street lights, while pale dawn gathered softly above the silent rooftops ahead. And the stranger kept walking through the narrow alley as the city slowly began breathing toward another morning. Somewhere between the frozen footsteps, the quiet jazz still echoing behind them, and the cold blue light waiting beyond the buildings. Their unfinished story continued forward through the snowfall without fully revealing where it might lead next. The 24-hour diner glows softly beneath the midnight sky, while the city hums low beyond the fogged-up glass. And the youth sits quietly near the window, watching reflections drift across wet streets after evening rain. A bowl of warm soups and small clouds into the air, rising slowly toward old ceiling lights that never seem to turn off. Outside, buses pass like patient rivers through the downtown dark, their headlights brushing briefly against storefronts and sleeping alleyways inside. Tired notebooks rest beside half-finished plans, and tomorrow waits quietly between scattered receipts and cooling coffee cups. Maybe hope arrives in ordinary places, not through grand moments, but through warm rooms that stay open after midnight. And maybe youth learns courage this way, one quiet hour at a time beneath familiar lights. The downtown echo moves softly through the night, while warm conversations linger gently above the empty tables nearby. And the youth carry small dreams carefully, like lanterns sheltered from the wind. Every passing car leaves a fading glow upon the glass. Every distant footstep becomes part of the rhythm of the city still awake below. The night feels larger than fear and softer than doubt. The cook wipes down the counter slowly while an old clock continues tracing circles through the early morning hours. And somewhere near the back booth, a quiet laugh drifts upward before dissolving into warm air. The youth turns another page inside a worn notebook, adding small ideas beneath sketches of places not yet visited. The city beyond the window remains unfinished, full of closed doors, open roads, and lights burning long after midnight. Yet there is comfort in knowing the streets continue breathing, even when the world seems too large to understand all at once. Outside, a bicycle rolls through the intersection beneath yellow traffic lights and low drifting clouds. And the reflection stays briefly on the glass before joining the darkness again. If belonging has a sound, perhaps it resembles dishes clinking softly beneath fluorescent light after midnight, or the quiet murmur of strangers sharing warmth while the city turns slowly toward dawn. Not certainty, not arrival, just a steady feeling of continuing forward with enough light for the next step. Now the diner windows glow against the fading night, while the first pale blue morning gathers above the rooftops outside. And the glass. Friend sits alone inside the midnight cafe, while rain traces quiet lines across the dark window beside the table. And a warm cup rests between tired hands that have carried more weight than anyone noticed lately. The city outside keeps moving through the night, but inside this room everything slows down enough to breathe. A notebook lies open beneath the soft yellow light, filled with unfinished plans, crossed out doubts, and small reminders not to give up yet. The friend looks out toward the empty street, wondering how far tomorrow might be from where they are tonight. Some nights feel longer than they should, and some dreams take time before they begin making sense. Still the clock keeps moving forward, and so does the heart that refuses to stop believing. The midnight cafe glows against the darkness, while quiet reflections gather softly on the rain-soaked glass. And the friend holds on to hope the same way the room holds on to warmth through the longest hours of night. Every small light feels important here, every page, every thought, every promise made in silence. The future may be distant, but it is still coming closer. The rain begins to fade, while distant traffic hums gently through the sleeping streets beyond the window. And the air smells faintly of coffee paper, and the calm feeling that follows honest reflection. The friend remembers difficult seasons, times when every step forward seemed hidden beneath uncertainty. But tonight feels different somehow, not easier, just clearer than before. The unanswered questions are still there, yet they no longer seem large enough to block the road ahead. Outside, a bus moves quietly through the avenue, its headlights stretching briefly across the wet pavement before disappearing into the dark. The friend watches it pass and smiles softly, as though recognizing something familiar in its steady movement forward. Maybe strength is not loud, maybe it lives in ordinary nights when nobody is watching. Maybe it grows slowly between moments of doubt, until one day it becomes the reason someone keeps going. And maybe hope is already here, sitting quietly beside the next unfinished page. Now the first hint of morning gathers beyond the skyline, while the midnight cafe remains warm beneath its gentle lights. And the friend stays a little longer, listening to the silence before the city begins another day. The rain has passed, the streets are clearing, and the horizon is slowly changing color beyond the glass. While somewhere between the quiet room, the open notebook, and the growing light beyond the window, a new beginning waits patiently for its moment to arrive. The youth walks through the city after midnight, while cool air moves quietly between the buildings and empty empty streets, and the world feels larger at this hour, open enough to hold both uncertainty and hope. A backpack hangs loosely from tired shoulders, filled with plans that are still unfinished and dreams that refuse to disappear. The traffic lights change for no one in particular, and distant trains continue their journey beyond the edge of the neighborhood. The youth keeps moving forward too, without knowing exactly where the road will lead. Some days feel heavier than expected, and some answers take longer to arrive. Still there's something inside that keeps going, even on nights when nobody else can see it. The youth fire burns quietly through the darkness, while the city lights shimmer across windows and distant rooftops below. And the youth carries that small flame through every setback and every uncertain turn, not rushing, not stopping, just moving forward one step at a time. The night feels wide enough for another chance to begin. The youth sits beside the river before sunrise, while the water reflects pieces of the waking sky above. And the first birds begin drawing soft sounds across the stillness of the morning. There were moments that felt impossible, days when every direction seemed hidden behind closed doors. But somehow those days became part of the story, not the ending, just another chapter along the way. The horizon slowly brightens beyond the bridge, and the city starts opening its eyes to a new day. The youth watches the sunlight arrive without hurry, trusting that some things grow stronger in their own time. Maybe freedom is not having all the answers, maybe it is learning to keep walking without them. Maybe strength looks ordinary from a distance, but feels meaningful to the person carrying it every day. And somewhere beyond today's horizon, another beginning is already waiting. The youth fire continues glowing through the morning, while sunlight spreads gently across the streets and rivers below. And the youth steps into another day, carrying both old scars and new hopes together. The road remains unfinished, the future remains unwritten, but the heart keeps opening toward whatever comes next. And beyond the skyline, beyond the clouds, beyond the places still unseen, the journey continues quietly into the light. I found you beneath the neon glow that spilled across the evening streets like scattered pieces of another constellation. And the city suddenly felt lighter beneath our footsteps, as if it had been waiting for us to arrive. You laughed at something small I almost forgot to say, and the sound stayed with me longer than the passing traffic and distant trains. The night moved quickly around us, but standing beside you made every bright window and side street seem worth remembering. I carried a restless kind of joy in my chest, the kind that turns ordinary moments into reasons to keep walking. The crosswalk lights change colors above us, us and conversations drifted from late night diners into the cool air. You looked at me like tomorrow was still wide open, and suddenly I believed it too. This neon heartbeat keeps dancing through the city while your hand brushes mine beneath electric skies and sleepless avenues. And I follow the rhythm of your smile through every crowded corner and glowing street. The night keeps breathing around us, the skyline keeps shimmering above us, and my heart keeps learning new ways to be alive beside you. We wandered past old apartment buildings with laundry swaying gently from rooftop lines beneath the midnight breeze, while convenience store lights painted silver reflections across the rain-dark pavement below. You pointed toward a rooftop antenna reaching into the stars, saying even lonely things still search for connection. I watched the city reflected in your eyes, small constellations flickering between dreams and certainty. Nothing about this felt fragile, just beautifully unfinished in the way all honest beginnings are. The streets kept unfolding beneath our steps, offering more stories than either of us could hold at once. Maybe love is not a destination waiting at the end of the map. Maybe it is the courage to remain curious while walking side by side through unfamiliar nights. Maybe hope sounds like your voice calling my name, steady enough to rise above the noise of the city. And somewhere beyond the glow of another traffic light, the night continues writing its quiet invitations. This neon heartbeat keeps echoing through the avenues while the city's bright reflections gather softly along the midnight roads. And I stay close to the warmth of your presence beneath skies painted with borrowed colors and distant windows. The music of passing footsteps, the pulse of unseen trains, the endless shimmer of possibility wrapped around the shape of your laughter. As the city stretches farther into the dreaming hours, and the neon lights continue blooming against the dark, I keep walking beside you toward whatever waits beyond the next turn. A stranger boards the late train beneath fluorescent station lights that soften at the edges of the midnight hour, while tired footsteps echo across the platform like quiet confessions no one intends to share. The doors close with practiced grace, and the city begins to loosen its hold. Outside the window, apartment towers drift past in scattered patterns of gold and blue. Their lit windows holding fragments of dinners, arguments, laughter, and sleepless thoughts. The stranger leans against the cool glass, carrying a loneliness too familiar here to fear. The tracks stretch farther into darkness, drawing thin silver lines beneath the moonlit sky. Not every destination is visible tonight, yet the train continues forward without hesitation. On this late train, the stranger gathers quiet hope beneath the rhythm of steel and fading station calls, discovering that solitude can leave room for possibility rather than emptiness. The passing lights blur softly, the distant skyline breathes slowly, and the heart learns to trust what it cannot fully see. A forgotten umbrella rests beside an empty seat, and an old advertisement peels gently at the corners above the aisles. Someone sleeps with their head against a backpack. Someone else watches the city disappear without blinking. The stranger notices these small constellations of ordinary lives, each person traveling through private weather toward places known only to themselves. There have been losses carried in silence, and dreams postponed until a more forgiving season arrives. Still the train moves through tunnels and open bridges alike, untroubled by the changing scenery beyond its windows. Perhaps hope is not loud enough to announce itself. Perhaps it sounds more like wheels meeting rails beneath the sleeping city. A steady reminder that movement matters even when certainty remains out of reach. The stranger loosens tired hands, allowing tomorrow to remain unwritten. On this late train, the stranger follows the gentle cadence of departure and arrival beneath a sky untouched by urgency. And loneliness becomes less like a closed room and more like an open seat beside possibility. The station names drift by, the midnight lights recede, and small acts of courage continue unfolding between one stop and the next. As dawn waits somewhere beyond the final tunnel, and the tracks disappear into distances not yet revealed. The stranger remains beside the window, watching the darkness slowly make space for whatever light chooses to arrive. You sit across from me in the moonlit diner while the last few customers drift through the door, like passing chapters of unfamiliar lives. And silver light spills through the wide front windows, resting softly on checkered floors and polished counters. You brush a strand of hair behind your ear and glance outside at the sleeping street. The coffee steams between your hands, its warmth rising into the quiet space we share. The waitress refills our cups without a word, as if she understands that some conversations move slowly. The city has lowered its voice tonight, trading noise for distant headlights and patient stars. You look at me for a little longer than before, and the room grows gentler around us. In this moonlit diner, you become the warmth I carry through the quiet hours when the world feels too wide and restless, and love reveals itself through simple gestures that ask for nothing in return. The soft glow rumors, old songs, and dreams that change their names over time. I listen to every pause between your words, because tenderness often lives there too. Outside, a taxi slips through the intersection, its headlights tracing silver paths across the wet pavement. Inside, your laughter rises quietly, and even the ticking clock seems less hurried. The moon watches over the empty parking lot, while our small corner of the night remains illuminated. Perhaps love is not measured by grand declarations beneath impossible skies. Perhaps it is staying after the coffee cools, asking one more question, remembering the details no one else notices. The night deepens around the diner windows, yet neither of us reaches for goodbye. Across the sleeping city beyond the glass, and I discover that being understood can feel as miraculous as being found. The unfinished conversations, the familiar expressions, the quiet devotion hidden inside ordinary moments continue to glow between us as the moon journeys higher above the empty streets, and dawn lingers somewhere beyond the darkened skyline. We remain beneath the fading diner lights a little longer, letting tomorrow arrive in its own gentle and unhurried way.